Been a while since I did one of these, but it's about time that I got around to doing some more tip videos. I have several written up, but I've been working on other projects right now. A couple of subscriber requests and other projects, so deduction tips have gotten neglected, but that doesn't mean I don't have any ideas. Today, for deduction tips, I wanted to talk about tips on information gathering. Information gathering is not solely done through deduction. We need to validate our deductions in other ways, and to do that sometimes we have to ask questions. So there's three main tips I have for information gathering. Firstly is ask questions. You don't have to ask questions that give away what you're exactly trying to get at. You can ask more general questions and let the answers reveal themselves to you. Secondly, you want to listen. Asking questions is no good if you don't listen to the answers, and if you listen closely, you can hear things and understand things, and they will reveal things that they don't actually say, at least not verbally. So paying attention, listening carefully is the next tip toward information gathering. The third one ties all of this together, and it's don't speak. Silence is powerful. People don't like silence. It's like a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. If you are silent, undoubtedly, the other party in the conversation will want to fill that void. And in doing so, he might give up extra information that you can use to validate your conclusions, validate your observations. It may give you more information to use in your own deductions. But with those three steps, asking questions carefully, so as not to give away what you're looking for exactly. And there's some information out there on interview and interrogation techniques, where the questions that they use, I would suggest looking at that kind of information. Gives you an idea what kind of questions you want to ask and what kind of questions you don't want to ask. I don't have that information on me at this exact moment where I would share that, but that kind of information on interrogation and interviewing techniques, those are really useful kind of questions that you'd want to ask in these situations. Listening to the answers and what the answers aren't telling you. Also keeping in mind lie detection, things like that can take place in this step where you're listening, and then just not speaking, seeing what they reveal when there might be an amount of discomfort added to the situation. By not speaking, you show that you are... silence is a powerful non-verbal thing. Yeah, silence is a powerful non-verbal tool. It can be used to indicate, it was King Louis the 13th or 14th, I forget the number exactly, but he was infamous for giving very vague replies. We'll see, I shall see, things like that, and that was it was important because he wasn't giving away anything he didn't want to give away, but at the same time, it also forced his audience to react. And anyone who wanted an audience with him had to give up more information than they necessarily intended to give up or wanted to give up. And by his silence, it forced them to overexert themselves to get his attention, to get his interest aroused, and they'd end up giving away things and revealing things that they didn't necessarily want to reveal. So being silent, remaining silent, quiet, letting them do all the talking for you can give you more information sometimes than any set of questions will ever provide you. It reminds me of the episode in Sherlock. It was the Great Game, when the wife contradicts everything Sherlock says, and he intentionally gets things wrong so that she corrects him and tells him what he wants to know. The same thing happened in one of the books from the last set of Arthur Conan Doyle books. I forget which one exactly, where Sherlock explains that he got more information out of a guy by placing money on the wager than if he had just offered him hundreds of pounds. By offering £5 as a wager, as a bet, he got more information from the guy than he ever would have got. So those kind of ideas help out when you realize that if you play people right, they will give you more information than they intend to, than they want to. But that's it for today for this tip video. I have another tip video out next as well. I've got one already written up, information-wise. I've got a couple of subscriber requests that I've been working on as well, concerning my training regiment and the martial arts video. So both of those are in the works right now. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. And let's see. In today's tip video, I wanted to talk about using what you have to your advantage. The concept of this video being that sometimes deduction isn't always the most efficient way to get an answer to something. For example, it was in The Sign of Four, the second of the original Sherlock Holmes novels. Holmes mentions that he has several ways to come to one of the conclusions of how to find their man that they're chasing down, but he instead decides to use Toby, the basset hound, because it's a more efficient option. And that can be true of average deductionists today. We don't need to always rely on deduction. We have mobile phones. We don't have to, go home and research things that we didn't have information on. We can search it up literally anytime we need to now. Point being that sometimes you have options that are available to you that could make the process of deduction or discovering your solution to your problem or an answer to your questions far easier than relying solely on deduction. So don't limit yourself to just deduction and deductive reasoning. Use any other avenue that you have at your disposal to solve problems, to come to conclusions. Use other people's knowledge. Use the internet. Use resources. Ask other people, professionals, questions on certain topics, and you'll get to your conclusions faster that way. It's not cheating to use resources that are available to you.